Rating. Let's end your frustration by signing up for fiber internet in Clinton. Click the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom today, Dr. Emily Weidner, Superintendent of Cerro Gordo Schools. Good morning, Dr. Weidner. Good to see you as always. How you doing?
Good morning, Seth. I'm doing great. It's great to be here.
Now, your summer has started, no?
Yes, that is correct. Our students actually had their last day of school on Friday the 16th. So teachers came in on Monday the 19th, and now it's pretty quiet around here.
Wow, look at you guys, already a week into summer break. How about that? That's good stuff. Your kids are, at least your daughters are still going probably into next week. Is that right?
Yeah. They'll have finals next week.
Oh man, brutal. Well, so do you kind of, not that you would like throw it in their face, but to be like, hey, I don't have to go to, like, I don't have to, get up and run around today and all those things. Like, do you tease them about that at all?
No, not really. They're running on empty at the moment, getting ready for finals. So.
Yeah, that could probably blow up in your face a little bit. Sure, yeah. Sure. Well, hey, how about the end of your school year, Dr. Weidner? How'd things go? What were some of the highlights?
We had a great end to the school year. It was very busy. Getting out so early in May really caused us to have a lot crammed into a short amount of time. So we had all of our different honors nights, National Honor Society, Senior Honors Night, Junior High Evening of Excellence, athletic banquet, all these things with the end of the year concerts kind of coming in at the same time. And then we had our graduation last Saturday, the 17th. In our auditorium, we had 33 students graduate. We had a really nice ceremony. We also had 3 students graduate with their associates from Richland. Mm-hmm. So that's always something that we're really proud of when students are able to do that. That really puts them ahead. But one of the big highlights of last week was our junior high state track qualifiers. We had 10 girls and 1 boy qualify for the state track meet. And we actually had a state champion in the pole vault. Maddie Willard took first place in the pole vault. Wow, so great. We had several girls make the podium, but having a state champion is pretty amazing.
That's awesome. Good for you guys and good for those students too.
Yeah, I think the girls team won the sectional championship the week before. We knew it was a strong class. Mm-hmm. Maddie had broken the school record in pole vault earlier this season. But she actually had a PR at state by 7 inches. So it was pretty amazing performance by her.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome. Great stuff. Now, when they get to high school, do you co-op with B-Mint, or like where do you go for all your track and field stuff?
Yeah, so we do co-op with B-Mint for all of our sports. So we're CGB. At the junior high level, they wear purple, the B-Mint colors, and they're the Bulldogs. And then at the high school level, they wear our orange and blue and are the Broncos. So gotcha. We do have an all-weather track here at Cerro Gordo, so we host track.
Cool. Awesome. That's good stuff. Very good. So that's great. Hopefully that success carries into high school for them. You hope that they continue on with those things.
Yes, it's a very promising group.
Definitely. Nice. Well, how about the school year just in general, Dr. Weidner? How'd things go this year for you?
We had a great school year. I think that we're constantly working on, improving and working on our test scores and improving our facilities and things like that. So we do a professional development survey in the spring. So we're kind of, as we end this year, we're already planning for next year. So looking at some different things that we want to continue to work on as a district. We did carry out a strategic planning process this year. Mm-hmm. So we will be approving our strategic plan this summer. Part of that's still a little bit up in the air is the facility plan, because we do have our 10-year health life safety study actually starting tomorrow with BLDD architects. So we'll be able to get that information from them and then kind of move on from there on our facilities planning.
Can we dive into the strategic plan a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, it's a very broad plan, and that's pretty typical of what you'll see for school districts. So the real value in the plan is the input that you get as you're making it. So we started in October. We had a meeting with teachers and administrators, school board members, parents, community members, and we had a facilitator come in to kind of walk us through that. And we looked at the different areas that we wanted to focus on in terms of academic improvement, teacher retention and recruitment, facilities, extracurriculars. You just kind of look at everything. And then we make broad goals and break them down over a 5-year span. So that is something that we'll bring to the board this summer, but it's been an ongoing feedback process with staff surveys, talking about it at staff meetings. And I met with individual teachers as well to kind of outline that plan.
Are you at liberty to talk about some of the, whether it's goals, some of the things in there for development, things of that nature? Do you mind speaking to a few of those things?
Sure. Yeah. So generally it's things like making sure the curriculum is aligned to standards, making sure the curriculum is aligned vertically within our school. We're also working on a district literacy plan that we just wrote a grant for. So a lot of those things are kind of really typical. And then depending on the area, the subject area and the content area will determine the individual teacher or department goals. We're also looking at improvements in the sports co-op, writing a coach's handbook for that, making sure that we are giving the kids as much access to extracurricular activities and a wide variety of them that we can. In terms of facilities, just continuing to update our facilities, continuing in finance to look for new revenue sources and grants. So it's really a very broad range of things.
Did you involve the community in the discussion in terms of what they want to see, whether it's academically, facilities, programs? Did you get any input from them?
Sure. Yeah, that October meeting, we did have community members invited to that. And then we look at our 5 essential survey feedback and kind of talk about these things throughout the year.
What'd your community have to tell you?
I think we were on the same page. One of the things that the community feedback was increased communication. So we've tried to do that in terms of, making sure our website is up to date, making sure we're sharing things on our social media, getting information out in a variety of ways, using our Remind app and email and things of that nature. On a facilities standpoint, I think the big upgrades that are left are mostly at our athletic facilities. Our buildings are in good shape and have been updated recently. So we need to look at concession stand at the football field and press box at the football field. In the classrooms, we need to upgrade the home ec or FCCLA area. But other than that, it's a lot of just kind of basic updates, repairing doors or replacing doors, things like that.
Does the district have the funds to do those things?
Yeah, we have the funds to kind of do that over time. We get that sales tax money that helps us a lot with that. So that will be something that we'll kind of plan out. This 10-year health life safety study, the items that BLDD identifies for that list, we can use Fund 90 for those items. So that helps as well too.
I see. Gotcha. Talk to me a little bit about in terms of like your staff development and those things. What are some of your goals for your staff in this strategic plan?
So with our professional development, we survey them every spring to see what the staff is interested in. And then of course we have our own ideas as administrators that we want to focus on as well. So one of the things that will need to be a focus for some of our teachers this year is helping English language learners. We do have an emerging population of English language learners, so we need some training for our staff on that. Technology is always something we're focusing on. Our teachers want to expand the use of a program called IXL that we use for assessment and also for intervention. And of course, artificial intelligence is a big one that we're looking into as well right now, as are most districts.
Yeah, sure. We'll talk about artificial intelligence in a little bit here. In terms of the ESL program, how much have you had to expand, whether it's staffing, dedicating resources to that? Do you mind speaking to that a little further?
Sure. Yeah. So we have a small population of students who are English language learners. So we have invested in a little bit of technology for some translation apps, some Spanish books so that students can read the same novels as their peers at the junior high school. And we are very fortunate to have a Spanish teacher at our junior high school who has stepped in and has helped those students to, learn the content in their language and start to learn English as well. And then she's also been very helpful in translating for the parents.
Yeah.
We're just starting that process. We've got some things to learn and work on, but we are ready to go.
Sure. Well, and I tell you, perhaps ESL should be a conversation I have with more of your peers, because just yesterday I had Mr. Goebel, our superintendent, on to follow up the Tuesday board meeting. And one thing that the leaders of the ESL program in Clinton noted at their board meeting this week was they're going to start doing summer programming with the kids, because that language, because the things they learn drop off with that natural kind of summer slide, if you will. So that was kind of something that they put out there. And I venture a guess ESL and, those learning that English language that you're speaking to is probably a across the board issue at this point.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's definitely something that we need to put some time and energy into, and making sure we're doing the best for all of our students.
Sure. Very good. Well, Dr. Weidner, just again, kind of going over that strategic plan you mentioned, anything we didn't touch on in it that you think is worth putting out there for us today?
No, I think with anything, we set goals, and as we're working on the strategic plan, developing it, we're already working towards those goals that are in it. Mm-hmm. And we'll definitely have to adapt and adjust as we go. We try to make a 5-year plan so that we can guide the district in that way. But new technology comes up, new problems come up. So we'll need to adapt and adjust as we go. But that's something that just allows us to kind of narrow our focus and make sure we're all on the same page.
Sure. Very good. Well, Dr. Weidner, where do folks go to learn about all things Cerro Gordo schools?
You can check out our website at www.cgbroncos.org, or check us out on Facebook, Cerro Gordo CUSD number 100.
Very good. Dr. Emily Weidner, Superintendent of Cerro Gordo Schools, our guest on the Zoom. More to come with Dr. Weidner on the morning show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Thursday. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network, a steady start to trade with corn, beans, and Chicago wheat. July corn opening 463, up 2. September corn up 3/4, 443 1/2, and December new crop 456, up 1/4. July beans starting the day 1063 3/4, up a penny. August beans down a penny, 1058. And November new crop 1050 1/4, down 2 1/4. July Chicago wheat 550 3/4, up 1 1/2. September wheat up 2 1/2, 566 1/4. December wheat 588, up 2 1/2. July bean meal 297.30, that's up 3.20. And July bean oil 48.60, down $1.23. Opening numbers on this Thursday morning. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton and Farmer City. This is what we strive to do each and every day. We'll listen to you, give you the options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that is knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full service dealer. See us at baumchevybuick.com right from the start.
If you've got allergies this season, we have relief. CEO Paul Skowron here from Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton. Come to our walk-in clinic inside our family medicine. No appointment, no problem. See our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks again for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Dr. Emily Weidner, Superintendent of Cerro Gordo Schools, my guest on the Zoom today. And Dr. Weidner, you mentioned strategic planning. Part of what you have in your strategic plan was artificial intelligence. And this has been a fun conversation to have with your peers. And, just diving into AI myself, it is just remarkable what you can do with artificial intelligence, but like a few of your peers have said, it comes with the good, but it also comes with some bad. Let's dive into AI. Where Cerro Gordo is at currently with this?
Sure. I love this topic. I think it's really exciting. I always like to see how technology changes and advances, and how it impacts us at school. When I started out teaching, PowerPoint was the big new thing. My cell phone had an antenna on it. It was not common to have a cell phone for most people. So we've transitioned to projectors and smart boards and all these things. So it's definitely something that we have to adapt to over time. I think at Cerro Gordo, in terms of our artificial intelligence, we are kind of at various levels of proficiency and comfort with it in terms of our staff. We did have a trainer come in this year to talk to us about artificial intelligence, and she really talks about not just artificial intelligence, but also just kind of media literacy and competencies with that. Her name is Julie Smith, and she works at Webster University in St. Louis. So she started with our junior high school staff and did training on artificial intelligence that kind of centered on writing a good prompt. So asking AI questions to get the answers that you want, being specific about it, and then knowing how to filter the information that you get to make sure it's accurate and not biased, and making sure that we're not taking out that human judgment part of it. So it was a great training. We're planning to bring in more training this coming year, but we're also just looking into it on our own and, trying it out.
What's good about AI? What will be benefits of AI to education from your perspective?
I think there are a lot of benefits to it. For our teachers, I think it can make them more efficient in terms of lesson planning. There are, AI tools like Magic School is a website that has a lot of AI tools for teachers that we've looked into. So it can create lesson plans for you. It can differentiate lessons. So in any given classroom, you have students who are working above grade level, who are kind of that average, and then below grade level. And you just have this huge range of abilities and skills. And so a good teacher is always trying to differentiate their instruction and their assessment, but that takes a lot of time to really do it well and to cater to every kid. With AI, you can easily adapt your lessons, worksheets, assessments, and things like that to make sure that you're, helping all those learners. I think for special education in particular, it could be really helpful for helping to write goals, to write IEPs. There's just a lot of paperwork in that realm and a lot of data collection that I think it can make a big difference for.
When it comes to AI, instead of maybe talking about the bad, how do you teach your students to use it for good?
Yeah, so I think for our students, it can be great for research. I know when you're struggling with a math problem, for example, you can use AI to say, show me how to do this math problem. You can literally take a picture of it and it'll solve the problem and, show you the steps, which isn't great as a teacher if you're giving math homework. But if you're a student studying for a math test and you have to go perform that in class, it's nice to be able to have it broken down for you when you're away from your teacher. I think it can really be helpful for students in that way.
Now, how about just AI, some of the drawbacks to it? Because it's, like we talked about, it could be used for nefarious purposes educationally, but also AI has its, I know just some places, AI has been a detriment in terms of students, I don't know how to say it, but using it to for prank phone calls, if you will, or things like that. And it can really disrupt the school day. Have you seen any of that? Have you heard much about that? How about some of those things?
Yeah, I think there are definitely some dangers to it. We haven't had a lot of that yet. But some of the things that, we consider as we read more about this is if students are using it to write for them, they're not developing those writing or composition skills. If they're using it to solve math problems and not do their math homework. So there's definitely the potential for cheating. There's the potential for the creation of fake pictures and videos. a lot of potential for misinformation. The kids definitely have to be able to decipher what is true and what is not true, and it could be biased information as well. And then there's also privacy and data protection that has to be considered as well. So I don't know that we are fully aware of all the potential downfalls yet. Definitely getting some guidance from professional organizations that I belong to in terms of policies and things we need to think about with that. But just like when the internet came out, as technology evolves, we learn the benefits and the pitfalls of it as we go.
Will you have to do much adjusting to your school handbook because of AI?
So we subscribe to Press Policy, which is a board policy subscription service through the Illinois Association of School Boards. And they have a new issue coming out, or that came out, that we will look at this summer as a school board. And it does involve artificial intelligence and creating a policy there. So we have got to add information into our handbooks in terms of ethical use of artificial intelligence. But I think it's a good thing. I think it'll help our students and teachers, but we do need to do some updating of policy, and we will get guidance from the IASB and also Illinois Principals Association and other groups like that help us to make sure we've thought of everything and have good policy in that area.
Gotcha. There was one other thing I was going to ask you, and now I'm blanking on it. Doggone it. Shoot. Anyways, when it comes to AI, Dr. Weidner, like, where do you foresee this going? I mean, I know what I was going to ask. Are there like AI tools for just specifically for education you guys tap into?
Yeah, I think one of the most popular ones is Magic School. So teachers can get on that website and they can get a login for free. And then there are additional tools that you can pay for. So I think that one is a pretty typical one that a lot of schools start out with. It can make slideshows for you. It can make lesson plans. You can take a video and then have it create a list of questions. It can create rubrics. There's just a wide variety of ways that teachers can use it.
Where do you foresee AI going in education? You know, do you have like an end vision of what it could look like?
Well, it's hard for me to predict that yet. I'm still a newbie at it myself. So I've been using it professionally. I've been using it a little bit personally, but I do think it's quickly changing what we do and how fast we can do it. I think, I went to college for a lot of years and I wrote a lot of papers. And one of the hard things about writing is usually just getting started,
right?
Getting through that kind of writer's block and getting going. So when you can type a prompt into AI and say, compose this for me, and just get your brain started on, okay, here's how I would say that. You can adjust from there and make changes. That's just an incredible difference.
Totally is. Yep. It's a game changer. It really is. Very good. Well, Dr. Weidner, I got to let you go for the day. Best place for folks to get information on all things Cerro Gordo schools.
Our website is www.cgbroncos.org, and our Facebook page is Cerro Gordo CUSD number 100.
Very good. Dr. Emily Weidner, Superintendent of Cerro Gordo Schools, our guest. Network News on the way.
WHOW.